The Xbox Live Indie Games section of the Xbox Live Marketplace first launched on November 19th, 2008 with the new Xbox Experience update, but the history goes back to December 2006 when Microsoft first released the Xna Game Studio 1.0. All XBLIGs would be created in Xna Game Studio. Xna is not actually abbreviated, it's just called Xna. For a monthly fee, users would have access to the Xna software. At the 2008 Game Developers Conference, Microsoft announced that it would be adding the Xbox Live Community Games to the Xbox Live Marketplace. This was the original name of the marketplace, the Xbox Live Community Games. In an interview with Games Industry, Microsoft's David Edry said, "To some extent it will certainly help us have more innovative content than the PlayStation Store or WiiWare, just by definition. With all this random stuff coming from the community, every once in a while there's going to be a real gem in there that you just couldn't have found otherwise. It wouldn't have found its way onto a console." On May 21st, 2008, a closed beta of the community games was launched. Only Xna members were able to participate. Then, on November 19th, 2008, the new Xbox Experience update was launched along with the Xbox Live Community Games. Fruit Attack was the first game released on the service. On June 9th, 2009, with the Xna 3.1 update, it was announced that the Xbox Live Community Games would be rebranded as the Xbox Live Indie Games in an attempt to make them, quote, understandable and discoverable. The XBLIGs would be under much more development constraints set by Microsoft than their much more professional Xbox Live Arcade brothers, but as the saying goes, restrictions are the foundations of creativity, such as how there were no Xbox achievements for the XBLIGs, so XBLIG developer Barker's Crest created mock achievements for the game Avatar Legends and Avatar Football, called Awards, which would allow access to superficial in-game multiplayer titles that could be seen by other players. The games also did not have leaderboards, or at least not the kind supported by Xbox Live's official servers. The XBLIGs were not allowed to have DLC, and originally XBLIG developers were not allowed to publish more than 8 titles. That limit was raised to 20 as of January 4th, 2012. There was an 8-minute trial period that was enforced on all XBLIGs. A player may have chosen to download a free trial, and after 8 minutes of playing, the trial would end and a window would pop up informing the player that the trial has ended. Even though such an 8-minute demo was not very one-size-fits-all and was very jarring for some titles, I personally was not too shaken up by it. Kudos to Microsoft for adding the option to immediately purchase the game at the trial over screen. It allowed the player to intuitively pick up where the trial had left off before purchasing the game. The Microsoft point system was still being used at the time, so games were displayed to be sold in the corresponding Microsoft points value. Originally, developers could elect for their games to be priced at $2.50, $5, or $10, but in August 2009, that was changed to $1, $3, or $5. Some of the games had their $1 price tag advertised on the marketplace, or even in-game. Microsoft would take 30% of the sale value from each purchase, leaving the other 70% to the respective developers. Even without Microsoft taking their slice, most indie games were not profitable. A large majority of the XBLIGs were one-person development endeavors, enthusiasts and hobbyists who were driven by passion, who did it for the love rather than the money. But in attempts to gain some popularity and traction, a few XBLIG developers participated in what was called the Indie Games Uprising. The idea was conceived by XBLIG devs Robert Boyd of ZBoyd Games and Ian Stalker of Magical Time Bean. They had both noticed that they were releasing games on the XBLIG section of the marketplace at the same time. According to a blog post by Ian Stalker, I asked him if he wanted to release his game at the same time that I released my game, so we could do some cross-promotion. Even though the games are different genres, they target the same demographic, so if we can get someone to visit the channel for one, maybe she'll buy the other as well. If we were releasing $59.95 retail games, it would be ludicrous to synchronize releases because we would clearly cannibalize each other. But really the sell issue on the Xbox Live Indie Game Marketplace is due to lack of traffic, not someone deciding how he's going to spend his $3 monthly gaming budget. Robert was onto the idea and thought we should take it to the next level. If we coordinate 2 releases, why not coordinate 12? Let's see who's releasing something exciting in the next month and get them on board. More traffic equals more sales equals more revenue for Microsoft equals increased likelihood of promoting indie games on the dashboard. That's the theory, at least. In other words, instead of all of the individual devs promoting their individual games, the individual devs would instead be promoting all of the games of the devs who participated. It worked. Not only did it catch the attention of Microsoft, who would put an advertisement on the main Xbox 360 dashboard, it also gained the attention of Game Informer Gamer, and Kotaku. There would be a total of 3 indie games Uprising over the course of 2 years. Dream Build Play was an annual contest Microsoft held to promote Xna Game Studio and the Xbox Live indie games. It ran from 2007 until 2012. Many of the submissions to Dream Build Play were also eventually submitted to be sold on the Xbox Live indie games marketplace. But the actual winners of the Dream Build Play would have their games published to the much more professional and extravagant Xbox Live Arcade marketplace. And I imagine the $5,000 award for second place and the $10,000 award for first place wasn't bad either. Microsoft did not hold another Dream Build Play until 2017, of which at the time of this recording I plan to make another video about. I agree with David Edry that the XBLIGs did make the Xbox 360 unique from the competing Wii and PS3. Well, maybe not always in a good way. To say some of these games were complete garbage would have been an understatement. There were also dumb apps, such as the one that would let you control how your controller vibrates. Some of them were good apps, such as M2AF. As the title states, it let you quickly message all of your friends, and it even let you create sublists within your friends list. There was also EZMUZE Hamster Edition and EZMUZE 2, which let you create music, and I used it to make some of the music in this video, and I plan to continue to use it to make the music that you will hear on this channel. Some are of my favorite games of all time. Avatar Legends and Avatar Adventurers Online were notable for being friendly competitors for the Avatar role-playing games market. I made a game with zombies in it, The Impossible Game, and Mount Your Friends were dumb fun for $1. Murder Miners is of the most solid and customizable first-person shooters around. There was something for everyone to enjoy. As of September 9th, 2016, no more games are allowed to be published onto the Xbox Live indie games marketplace. Soloids Prologue was the last XBLIG. The Xbox Live indie games marketplace is shut down as of September 2017. A definitive day has yet to be announced at the time of this recording. In a blog post on Microsoft's website, it was announced that longer term, over the next 2 years, we'll be working with game conservationalists and creators to preserve the legacy of XBLIG content. We look forward to sharing more details with you in the future.